Hello everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. In today's episode of the awesome series Autistic Assemble for Autism Acceptance Month, I'm joined with Amy, and it's going to be really interesting because Amy's brother has autism, and Amy's going to be sharing like her experiences herself, like with being revolved around autism and a great work with the Mighty School Council. So it's going to be a really enjoyable conversation. So Amy, hello, I hope you're doing all right.
I'm doing all right, thank you. So, hi everyone, my name's Amy, and I'm just here to discuss the podcast with Mason. Really, I'm just gonna enjoy myself and see what happens. Just go with the flow.
Yeah, that is what I always do, Amy. Just go with the flow, see how it goes.
the best way you can do.
Yeah, it is the best way. It definitely is. So, Amy, if anyone who maybe listening or watching who doesn't know you, like, would you mind just giving like a brief little introduction of yourself?
Yeah, sorry, I shouldn't have done that at the start. So I am part of the Autistic School Council. I have been since November. Beforehand, I was a swimming teacher, and I used to work for Crohn where I did coding. And beforehand, I did my teaching training, which I achieved my QTS out of there, but I just never went into teaching. Before that, I worked for a deaf charity, many years of experiences working with children. And yeah, that is my background, really.
Yeah, that's really interesting because there's lots of things there that you've done before.
Busy. I like to keep myself busy.
Yeah, it's a good way to be.
Exactly.
It's funny that you mentioned swimming because as we're recording this, yesterday I went to this place where you could do swimming, and it was like private, where you could just go every week for like half hour and just have a swim, which is I find it like, especially like maybe with autism, maybe it links in as well. Like you don't like, when you go in a public pool and there's so many people out there, you could hardly move in there, and I'd rather be in there like maybe just with a few people rather than just like overcrowded in the pool.
I mean, it's so hard to find just a good time to go swimming, because even if you went at 6:30, there's like 10 people there already, and you can't swim. But if you go at 9:30 at night, there's more people there, and you're like, oh, when can I go? It's really frustrating because I absolutely love swimming, but I just don't have time for it. Well, I do have time, but I just don't dedicate my time to swimming, I guess.
Yeah, I like maybe a year or two ago I did do swim a little bit, and then I just gave up, and then I thought I'll try again. It's good exercise to do.
Yeah.
And whenever I go on holiday, and I know we've spoken about holidays before, but I always like to go somewhere where there's swimming, or if there's a pool there, it's always nice just to go on holiday and experience, like if they've got flumes or rapids. So I always like that kind of stuff.
I absolutely love water park. It's like one of my favourite things. If I organise my holidays, I try to make sure there is a water park nearby, because it's a must. I must go to water park. It's just
Yeah, I think water parks are so awesome, aren't they? Like my I really like going down those like I think it would like I think the more maybe centre parks and stuff, like you go down the cyclone and this big thing, and then you go around. I always like them. And once when I was younger, I went on one, and I thought I'm going to try and be brave. I was silly, really, because if I thought a glimpse, I didn't let go. I want to see if I could stay on it without holding on, but of course you can't. It's impossible. And then I nearly fell off, and then someone just caught me before I fell off. Well, I didn't fall off, but I nearly did. But I always like them ones, and I would like, especially around like my area, if they got to improve it, because like maybe just swim pools and stuff, because they're the same
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
since when I was younger.
There is actually one in is it Bournemouth? I believe it's near Bournemouth. There is a water park and it is amazing, but it's really cold because it's, it's inland. Like if you go to a swimming pool, it's freezing.
Yeah.
I just can't stand it. It's so cold.
Yeah, like it's so annoying when you go into a pool and it's freezing, and then you have to stay in there for a good probably maybe 10-15 minutes before you could probably feel the warm, because you've been in there.
It's frustrating. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it's really like annoying as well, but of course, when you're going to go to these flume parks or water parks, you're going to have to maybe experience that, because you're going to go in one thing and then you're going to go another thing and then another thing. There's so many different things that you can do.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. But it's just really nice, isn't it? Sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it is good fun. I think. But yeah, like within like your, like, because you said your brother has autism. Do you want to talk a little bit about maybe your experience a little bit around that?
No, so he was diagnosed quite late, actually. I think he was around 16. So that's quite late, because nowadays younger people getting diagnosed earlier. But I love my brother is. So he's the oldest and I'm the second oldest. But I've always felt like I'm the oldest out of the whole family, because it's that responsibility that comes with it. Like, for example, when it comes to making decisions, it finds that really hard.
Yeah.
And often it's why frustrating, because even if we make the decision, it has to be up to him to decide what he wants to do. But then that is really difficult. But I mean, it's doing brilliant. It's doing really great. He's a gym instructor. He's a swimming teacher as well. So we've got experiences of swimming in there as well. But he's a swimming teacher. He loves sports. Sports is like it's number one, and he loves Doctor Who as well.
That's Doctor Who.
Yeah, both me and him loves Doctor Who. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He will also rely. He will watch like every single episode over and over again. He loves it, but bless him. But it hasn't always been easy, because, as I say, I felt like I've always been the oldest, and it shouldn't be like that. But it's just what it is, really. Yeah. But I feel like it's been difficult, because sometimes he comes home quite grumpy. And he's like, why is he grumpy? But then you have to think, he might have had to mask the whole day at work. And actually at home is the only place he feels comfortable. And like, it hurts, it's quite sad, because it's not sad, but like, he comes home, he feels comfortable with us, which is great. But at the same time, he should feel comfortable in other places, but it doesn't. So
yeah, it is hard, isn't it? Because depending, like being a swimming teacher, is like you don't expect anyone else to understand maybe in that environment, because you're just teaching people to swimming, and you can't. It's really hard, isn't it? If you think about it, if you're a swimming teacher, because if you're like with an autism, some people may not like close contact. And I don't know if he does or not. But it would be hard if he did not like that, because of course sometimes you have to be close. Because I think the good thing as well about the swimming teachers, you could just stand up if you're not one day you're not feeling too good. You just stand up there, and then I imagine you could have two people in the pool, maybe assisting it.
Like Billy's, this routine as well. Like, it's literally every day from 4 till 6, and he knows what classes he's taking and his routine, which he likes because he knows what he's doing. Because sometimes he struggles with routine. Like, I don't know about you, but did you find lockdown quite difficult? Not
Um,
during COVID?
I it was actually it was pretty hard at the start, and then it got okay. It was okay. More into it because me, I don't mind my own company, you know. I, I don't mind it, and like because a lot of people like I found it at the best time. I would say it's easier than probably now because within that time a load of people could actually, even though it was lockdown, you could actually go out with when no one was about, which was probably easier maybe for people who are autistic, uh,
Yeah.
because there's no human contact for some people.
But like, he really struggled with lockdown because he had no routine. There was nothing to do. All he did was literally watch Netflix all day.
Yeah.
And like, but he loved sports as well. And he couldn't do sports. Like, he couldn't go out and do cricket or football or go to gym. Like, he loved going to the gym and he couldn't go. So that was really difficult. I mean, I didn't live with him doing lockdown because I was with my flatmates, but like, I can tell it was difficult because there's nothing to do, and he can't stand not doing nothing.
Mm.
He has to do something, even on his day off work. He will still go into work because he likes doing something.
Yeah, you've got it's hard, isn't it? Because you've got you always want to do stuff,
Yeah,
and when things stop you, or it's always annoying when people don't understand you as well, with certain things, if it's like work or somewhere else, and if people don't say it's just annoying. And like I think that was probably one of the hardest things as well, probably for me during the lockdown, and probably still now, is that not being able to maybe take part in like football or football coaching or sports, because people don't it's not that they don't understand, it's just unfortunate, the unfortunate events that's happened in the world of this century, and it's not friendly, and it's world's not nice to us.
yeah, yeah. I mean, did you watch what was that program called by Chris Peckham?
Oh yeah.
I thought that was really useful because it shows what he's like, isn't it? It
Yeah.
shows, like, I mean, I'm only going not based on my experience, but my brother watched it as well, and he was like, "That's just explains it,"
Yeah.
and it's quite difficult because I feel like some people still don't understand what it's like.
Yeah.
Well, apart from if you've been in their shoes, which you can't compare. You
Yeah.
can't say, "Oh, I've been in your shoes before," because you haven't.
Yeah.
And
I
like,
agree.
most people don't understand it.
And I did watch that as well, and the boy called Ethan, the one with like the music and that, I probably relate to him the most,
Yeah,
because I can't stand sound, like people make like like when he was walking, they just showed him that clip in the video you done, and him just walking around, and he just identifying sounds around him, and that's what that's what I'd be like. And I think with my autism, if I hear a sound, our process, does it need to make that noise, or is it necessary to make a certain amount of noise? So if someone is next to me and they were eating soup, I always bring soup as the example because it's the easiest option. And I'll say, if people make so much noise while eating a bowl of soup, I think to myself, no, don't need to be, you can drink soup, really, you could. And like, if people bang on the plate with their spoon,
yeah,
there's no need. Like, there are some things, like it's easier if, so for example, if I'm in a room with a load of people, that's
yeah,
different. I'm all right with that. But if it's like one or two people, it's just a bit more annoying. So it is different, and people will say to you like, why do you get so annoyed if it's just a little one person to like load of people make so much more probably louder noise? It's just very hard to process and to help others understand it.
Yeah, I mean, because my brother is also deaf as well. So I'm deaf as well. So that's like two things to deal with. So like being deaf and being autistic. Like sometimes I find it quite hard being deaf because you have like hearing people, deaf people, where do I go, where do I belong? But like for my brother, that's even harder because he has been deaf as well as autistic. Where do I fit in?
Yeah.
Like he finds it hard to fit in with people.
Yeah, it does make like it is hard, isn't it? Because like I imagine like with being deaf, like there's everyone like will have a different experience like they do with autism. And like maybe how you process things and like it's like have you always been deaf then?
Yeah, so I actually have two brothers and me and my sister. My two brothers are deaf as well as me. We've always we were born deaf, always been deaf. We have cochlear implants to help us hear, but of course it's not perfect. It's not a cure to being hearing, if that makes sense. But my sister is hearing, all
Yeah.
my family's hearing, so yeah.
Yeah. Do people have to speak like louder for you to hear them better, or do you have to ask people to speak a bit louder than they would?
It's not, I wouldn't say now that I would say clearer because
Yeah.
the now that you speak harder ears to understand
Okay.
because it gets quite mumbled.
Yeah.
Whereas if you speak clearer, it's easier to understand because we lip read. Like we can hear, but it just depends on the background noises.
Yeah.
So if there's a knot in the background, then it's just too difficult to hear you. But whereas if it's quiet, then I can hear you just fine. Not
Yeah.
hear you, it's a weird because I'm not hearing, but I can hear you basically.
Yeah, that's really interesting, Amy, because I didn't know that, so I learned something new.
No,
Yeah,
I don't often tell people. I really should, but I just don't tell people.
yeah,
I just like to get on with it, I guess.
yeah,
Same as my brother, he doesn't tell people, he just gets on with it.
yeah. I like with like autism and that and stuff around that. I would there's only worth telling people who maybe that it's necessary to tell if you like. So like you tell maybe people that maybe you're into workplace, but it's also hard doing that as well. Like it's just people maybe like if you couldn't find a toilet or something, you could say like you're autistic or you've got something which can help with that, because I always say, because like for my Crohn's as well, I got a badge where I go to the toilet. And I will always say, I won't say anything. I won't say I've got Crohn's. I won't say I've got autism. I will ask the person if it's like a shop or somewhere, can I use the toilet? And I want to see their response first. Would they actually let me go in? And then they always say no. And then I would say Crohn's or something like that. And they end up saying, yeah, you can go. Because it actually, had a meeting in Chelmsford the other, only a couple of weeks ago, to see the venue for the autism kind of, well, not autism, like that event that's going to happen in Chelmsford. And
Yeah, was it the
yeah,
conference?
yeah,
Yeah,
the
it
conference.
was,
That's
yeah.
it. That's it. And then on the way, I didn't want to go to the toilet in there, so because no one's there at the time, so I went into this little like pregnancy ward kind of thing I found, and then I'll go. They probably think, what am I doing? And then I say, "Can I use the toilet?" And then they all looked at each other, and then I said, "I've got Crohn's," and they direct me to it. So it's always, I think that's an advantage sometimes, just to say like about a certain thing, and then it can get you the support. But it is also hard to say it at the same time.
Yeah, because but the thing is, it's like an invisible disability as well, isn't it?
Mm.
Like no one really understands what it's like, and really stays for toilet. You shouldn't have to say it.
No,
Like they shouldn't just be like, yeah, okay, because what business is it up there to know?
it's not, is it? Like,
Like
like it's
sometimes it can be really good to tell people because of support, like you say, but some people get really dismissive.
yeah. I always say it's human rights. Like, how dare you say I can't go to the toilet? Like, I would say to you, you can't use your own toilet now. Then,
It is so silly.
yeah,
Honestly, it's so silly. No, just you should be able to use the toilets freely.
yeah. Speaking about another term freely is when you maybe go on holiday, and you have to pay to use the toilet. And I think that's quite bad, really, because
Mm,
like, especially if you have disabled people, like who may not have the money, or that they may like you might have a condition where you can't hold it in, um and it could take another 5 minutes, and it may not work. Like they use these machines, but sometimes they don't work, and I think it's bad that sometimes you have to pay to use a toilet.
I've been they used to have it at Liverpool Street
Mm.
station, but they got rid of it because I've been too many people complained. But that's what people should be doing, really. Just put in a complaint and be like, doesn't actually work. You're excluding those. No, I mean, like you're leaving people out who really needs it.
Yeah, it is annoying. But like with that, the Chris Peckham like autistic mind thing, like I think it's really important when they do these autistic programs, because a lot of them haven't worked out well over the years. You've got Undateables, it's just in the name, that's not very good. And if you've got other things out there, probably I think there's something called Atypical on Netflix as well, which is not very good either. I don't really like the terms, like high and low, because it kind of undermines the if someone's maybe good at something, maybe someone's a bit not as good. Those terms. But I'll get back to the documentary, because I applied myself, actually. Like when you could apply, and like all they said is apply if you want to be on the show. I think like with like to tell your story and stuff like that. But they didn't say in the application, as far as I remember, like that there was only going to be four people on there, and they didn't explain that it was to help people
Yeah,
tell the story to maybe family, or because near enough all of them were masking, weren't they, on there? Like
yeah, yeah,
I think everyone was masking,
yeah.
and then I think it's one of probably the best in a while. But for a lot of people that's the same experience, that they just was on there to share their story, because there's loads of autistic people, and for a lot of people it could be like, why did you not pick me? Am I not autistic enough, perhaps? And in a way it wasn't. It was good, but they did really well with it. But I think they could have made it a little bit better with maybe more people, or just other people. Like they could have had loads, because there's loads out there, and just picking four out of the lot could be really
I
upsetting.
I agree with you. I feel like four wasn't enough. I felt like it shouldn't be more because obviously there's different like it's a spectrum, isn't it?
Mm.
Like people are even and on the line of the spectrum, and really that's why there shouldn't be more people
Yeah. Um.
because you could show each like on the line of the spectrum, and I agree with you, it's really good. I found it really valuable and really informative, but when it ended I was like, say it,
Mm,
it's
like
there there'll be more.
two
I was really
episodes.
I was really disappointed.
Yeah.
I was like, what? I want more.
And like, if they did it again, they need to make it more, because you can't just. And I'd love to know, why did they? Was it people out the hat, or did they actually look at all these people? And she was like, I want to pick that one. I pick that one. Pick that one. And if it was me, on there, like why would you want because in hindsight, like Chris Peckham would be a stranger really to a lot of people really, because he doesn't really know anything about you. And I imagine it wouldn't just be like they showed it, like they just opened up like quickly like that, wasn't it? They didn't show it
Yeah,
all. They probably just
yeah,
pick they would have picked things, because I know one person was really struggling with their masking. They showed it, but it wouldn't have just been like that. Like like the person met Chris Peckham, and then probably 10 minutes later in the program, there you go, you got doing the film. Because it should have been longer, perhaps, with one person's additional story, or
yeah.
just have a load more people on it, like we say.
But like as well, it's not how did they introduce each other, because I know autistic people are not comfortable with new people because they've not seen them before. They're a bit like, who are you? Why should I trust you? And so I felt like they should have shown to at the start how to build a relationship, because I felt like they just went in it and was like, can you do a film? It's like, but they don't know you. Why should they?
Yeah, it's something that they maybe need to think about, and I think it's everything they make. Any autistic thing, there's going to be high and lows, and a lot of from past the years, it's been load of lows, no highs at all. But I would say it is the best thing in a while. But there's still a load of things that could have been better about it. But I think it was good in a whole. It was good, but just the way they went around made the process of doing it all, and everything just should have been a little bit better. But
Yeah.
I'd say it was good. It was good to watch. But like we say, should have been longer.
Yeah, yeah, it shouldn't be like 10, 20 episodes. That'll be amazing. But it's just one of those things, I guess. It's just, but at least they've done it, and people like, because I've seen on Twitter a lot of people like, why is there only 2 episodes? I want to see more. But really, that documentary should be out everywhere, sold to GPs, hospitals, nurses, whatnot, because they deal with these people every day, don't they?
They do. They're really doing this. It's almost like they've just shown nothing towards the people who are on there, but it's almost like they just picked anyone who was masking, didn't they? Like everyone was literally masking in that program, and like they maybe had different stories, or they would all have different stories, but it's almost like you just picked anyone who's masking with autism. And there's so many different types that people struggle with, not just masking. And like we said, we've had they did show a little bit of routine on there. They show other aspects, but it would have been nice to see more, because you've just shown 4 people, and there are so many out there that probably got rejected from going on a show like that, and it's upsetting in a way, but like it's good, and it should be shown. I think it is shown at different places, but it's just, if they do continue doing that, because they didn't say, I don't know if it's just a one-off thing, or, but I think actually you know Christine McGuinness, I think she's actually done her own documentary as well, so that's going to be interesting to watch. From, I don't know what it is. I think it maybe just her speaking about it, but I think that would have possibly been better, actually, if you think about it. Just someone speaking about it rather than maybe having people on, because if you do it like that, you're not going to have people feel upset about applying if you're just doing a show around your own journey, perhaps. That gets people talking.
Yeah, I guess that's true actually. And if it's just one person, then it's non-hot, isn't it? You get to know that person and watch their journey and see how they started, where they ended up, and yeah, I think that's quite interesting actually.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the more, I guess, autistic people recognise what it is, and to make everyone's difference, the better. like, because the more programs you get around the good things around it and the awareness is, the better things, I think. But yeah, Amy, like within the Mighty School Council, do you want to talk a little bit about that, like how you kind of became here and your journey within that?
Yeah, so as you know, I did my teaching training. It went nowhere. The interviews just went nowhere. So I was like, you know what, I'll just take a bit of time out and just do my other jobs like swimming teaching, do a bit of coding. Then I applied to Multi-School Council. Then I met the ambassadors there. It's like I just didn't know what to expect, because I remember they gave me a piece of paper that says, I can't remember what it says now, create a presentation about SEND or something. I can't remember. You have 15 minutes to prepare. I was like, what do I say? But I was like, you know what? I'll just go based on my own experiences, because like I am deaf, whatnot. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go off my own experiences. And I ended up getting the job. I was like, oh, seriously? Oh, it's amazing. Then it took me a long time to get started, actually. I didn't start till November.
Yeah.
And from there, it's just been really good. I've been involved in multi-school councils meetings. I've been involved in doing projects like Deaf Awareness Cape Morning, which is happening in April. And just lots of different projects I've been involved in, and I've been delivering assemblies as well and workshops, which I absolutely not doing yet, because I felt it was really valuable to be delivering to the children. And actually, they came up to me in the end, was like, I've learned something today. I thought that was really interesting. Actually, I didn't think about it like that, but like you changed my mindset, and that's what I like about this job, is changing the perception of SEND.
Yeah.
But like, I had to be honest, I feel like still a lot of work to do with the perception, because I feel it's quite negative, because a lot of people like, you can't get a job, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's like, no, actually you can. But I do think it's better than it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it has changed over the time, but could it be better now? Yeah, it could be a lot better, but at least we are changing. And yeah, so I've just been really busy with the multi-school council, which, yeah, I love it. Really, I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'm really lucky to be working with Kieran, because I think he's done such an amazing job.
He has, and like there's so many people have, and like it is great. Like you say, I think lots more definitely does need to be done. Because like definitely it's been better since 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's so much better than 10 years ago, and I think I'm always going to be saying every 10 years, I reckon. Well, hopefully we will be.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the Mighty School Council is very good for doing that kind of stuff and going to different places and raising awareness around so many different things. So I think it's great, because like you've got deaf awareness, autism, ADHD, mental
Yeah.
health, so many different groups that people are involved in, and there's so much going on all the time, like with meetings. Have you ever got we got one after this, so,
Really busy, aren't we?
yeah, so yeah, well, we always have a meeting, like I remember the early days of it where there was none. Because I was probably an ambassador from when it started, near enough when it started. It might have been a year or two. I think I asked to be. And I said, I want to be ambassador. I want to be ambassador, because I thought it was pretty cool. So I saw there were probably about 2 ambassadors before I was an ambassador at the time. And I thought, why can't I be ambassador? I said, you've got to write a letter,
Yeah.
or something, and it's like, oh, okay, and it was the same for when people, when you got all these team leaders from all the groups now, and I like you had it, I got I did one for the autism group.
Yeah. I was there to watch it actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think I got and then I I can't remember how it went, but and then no, just am now. But yeah,
It went fine. Don't worry, it went fine. I
yeah.
promise you, it was fine.
And then I do remember once it was probably about 2 years ago now, where you had these like Kieran came to my house and he gave me this ambassador kind of trophy or something. I thought, why you give me a trophy? And I said, I think like they do these ambassador of the years, don't they, sometimes? And I thought, I don't know why it was me, because at the time I think it was lockdown and everything, and
Yeah.
and I said, I haven't been doing any of the events, so why give me one? And then he said it's all different things I do on like online and everything. So thought that was really nice. But it is good. It's good to be a part of, because you do so much different things, and
Yeah. So, like every day is different. It's never the same. And I really like that because it keeps me on my toes. No, I'm joking. No, it's just really good to have something different to do every day. But yeah, I believe we are currently over 100 ambassadors. I may be wrong. I think it is definitely over 100, but I can't remember the exact number. But like, because it was set up 10 years ago, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was in like 2012 or something.
Yeah, so coming from 2012 till now, we have over 100 ambassadors, which is amazing because there's so many more young people getting involved to share awareness, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, like at some point I thought there's going to be some. I don't know if there's a limit to how many ambassadors can be ambassadors.
I think there is.
Maybe if it gets bigger, they might just make 100 ambassadors somewhere else in the country, like somewhere else. Have a half dozen ambassadors somewhere else, and then somewhere else.
No, or have more people involved, like more staffs, like me. But no, I don't think there's a limit to how many we can have.
No,
Maybe we'll have 200.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows?
So,
who knows?
It'd be a lot of work for you on the website.
That's true, actually. I've worked so hard on the website. I hope it's okay, but yeah, it's because I am quite good with technology, thankfully, but like a website, I've not been involved in website before, but actually that's doing something different, isn't it? It's a skill to have to be able to know how to use a website. But yeah, it's been interesting trying to work out the websites. Sometimes it's been frustrating, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, you're like, because of it's good because there's someone that is actually in charge of it, because you get to change, like if things want to be changed, like maybe people want to write something different. Because I imagine I don't know if people put the age on there, but if they have put their age on there, they're like, and it was last updated, whatever it was, maybe a couple of years ago, it'd be a bit outdated. So it's good that you're on it.
Yeah, it's still work in progress at the moment, but no, it's looking really good. I'm quite pleased with myself actually because it was hard work, but I know what to do now. So you can call me a techless.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah, because I remember when you was like of course, like when you first started, and I think I had a meeting with you near enough straight away, I think. When you came,
or probably like nearer the Christmas time actually.
Yeah, like if you said you was November, it's like next month, so it's pretty quick. So we've known each other quite a while.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I've been nearly 4 months
Yeah,
now, maybe, yeah.
yeah. Can't believe it.
I know.
Yeah,
It's done quick, actually, yeah.
yeah. Like last couple of things, Amy.
Yes.
Before we go, because I know we've got a meeting in, I think 20 minutes. So, I was going to ask because you said you like Doctor Who. Like, do you have favourite Doctor in Doctor Who, or just like everyone?
Yes, I have two favourite doctors,
You
okay?
do,
I like David Tennant. I like Matt Smith.
you do.
And I do actually like the Ninth Doctor. I can't remember his name. Was it Christopher? I think it was
Yeah,
Christopher,
yeah, it
was it?
was. Yeah, it was. It was Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, Christopher. I liked him, but because I like the episodes. Do you know? I think it was Christmas special. You know the mannequin,
Yeah.
and they started shooting people, and yeah, I don't. It's so ingrained in my mind. I remember that episode so vividly.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but no,
Right.
David, David Tennant, Matt Smith, and I am so happy that David is coming back.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I love him. I love him.
It's awesome. Like he's coming back, and he's actually going to be hosting Red Nose Day this year. In his 14th Doctor suit. So that's gonna be really cool.
Oh, I just love him. But I don't think he's still been there for long though.
Oh,
I think it's literally like 2 episodes maybe. Then it'll be the 50th Doctor, which I'm quite
yeah.
gutted about, but never mind.
I think it's gonna be. I think he's got 3 episodes,
Okay.
but which is gonna be really interesting because we're used to having because the 60th anniversary, the 23rd, is on a weekday, so it's not on a weekend. So it's gonna be interesting because we normally get it on like a Saturday or a Sunday.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh.
and that would be on a weekday. But I'm really excited because my favourite Doctor is David Tennant.
Yeah.
And I also like the three that you mentioned. That they are my top three. That I have watched. But yeah, the sad thing is that he goes to say goodbye. He has to regenerate again. And I always say what I want him to say, Amy, is I'm ready to go because he's last time he said I don't want to go. He says I'm ready to go. That'd be a good finish to him as the Doctor.
Oh,
Um,
it's so sad. I'm so sad.
they're gonna make it so sad, aren't they? Like last time.
Oh, that episode with Rose and Doctor. Oh,
Yeah, like with one of my really good interests quite recently since last year is going to different Doctor Who locations. And
okay.
the autumn one that you mentioned, I went in the shopping area and I went outside of it, and I've been to a few good locations and the beach where the Doctor and Rose got separated. But unfortunately, when I went, the beach was full of water, so I couldn't go on it. So I'm gonna go back this year. I'm gonna go back and see
Okay,
it.
I've been really interested
Yeah.
actually. Where is the beach?
It is in Cardiff. Um, um,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting.
A lot of it is filmed in Cardiff, so I went to Cardiff last year. But what I really want to do is go to his last David Tennant's End of Time Part 2 and that where Wilfred he saw
Oh
Wilfred
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he going to that cafe. I really want to go to that location, but it's going to be really sad because Wilfred is supposedly in the 60th as well.
Oh
And I would really like the scenes that he got shot to be in there. That would be really nice and a tribute kind of to him as well or something.
yeah. I was gutted when he passed away actually because he was like the main character, not the main character, but like he was a well-known character.
Yeah,
Oh.
I got sent it by probably 3 people that sending me, and I was like, I know it's all on the news, and I just couldn't do anything today. I haven't been on that before, like with a celebrity dying. Like, it wouldn't affect me as much as it did with Bernard Cribbins, but
Yeah.
I did really like him. But yeah, I really hope that we get the scenes that he was shot in there. But before that, I've never been to a Comic Con before, and I'm going to one in May for the first time ever. And I'm going to see David Tennant, so I'm very
Oh,
excited about it.
you.
Yeah,
Oh, both my brothers been to Comic Con,
yeah.
and my sister actually have not been because it's not really my kind of thing. But
Mm.
they met Matt Smith.
Oh yeah, Matt Smith is. he's really funny as a Dr. Matt Smith was.
Yeah, it's my favourite. Like, them both are my top two. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, and then I didn't really like the Peter Capaldi was okay, and then 13th Doctor was okay. Not as good as like maybe the 9, 10, and 11 in my opinion, but
I agree. I feel like the old episodes was probably the best you can't be for Darnie, for Cyberman, and you just can't beat it. I love it.
yeah, it's so much fun, but I can't wait, and I can't wait to see David because I'm thinking of what I should say to him. Like I want to ask him to come on my podcast. I want to ask him. I don't want to say goodbye, but as long as I'm now, make sure I've asked him at least a question or two. But I am probably going to wear my 10th Doctor because I do cosplay. You see, so I do Doctor Who videos of my own. So I wear my 10th Doctor suit. Because I will get the 14th Doctor suit at some point, but it's just too early, and I haven't actually released the actual official suit. People just getting like making their own kind of stuff out of it. But yeah, can't wait to not the 40th. I'm about to say the 40th anniversary, but the 16th anniversary. But last thing, I'm going to ask you probably 2 questions actually.
Okay.
The first question is: do you have a favourite quote or something that you relate to in Doctor Who, or something in there that you really like at all?
I don't really have a quote.
Or do you have a favourite episode or anything like that?
That's a good question. I know. I think probably the Mars. Do you remember that woman in Sarah Jane Adventure?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I loved her. I was gutted when she passed away,
Yeah.
actually. But I just like the last episode with her and David Tennant, but also with Donna as well.
Oh yeah, the Journey's End one. I think that was a really good one.
Yeah, because Donna obviously had to forget who the Doctor was, which I was gutted about. But I don't really have a quote, I guess. But I would say like the favourite episodes was probably with Sarah Jane and Donna, and the last one with Rose as well. That broke my heart. But yeah.
Yeah, I love Sarah Jane, and like I was fortunate to go to the house where it was last year. I wrote a letter to person, and I was allowed to go and have a look around, and
Wow.
and I was really happy about that. And yeah, I love Sarah Jane, and I think she was probably really underrated actually in Doctor Who.
Yeah, she was really underrated. I agree.
Yeah, and I think that she would have still been the odd Doctor Who episodes now if she was still alive. Like she definitely would have been in the Power of the Doctor that just went. And she would definitely be the spin-off of Sarah Jane Adventure would probably still be going.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
But speaking of spin-offs, I'd love to see. There will be loads more. I think they're going to be making, so it's going to be really interesting. With that. But within the last question, do you have maybe any advice within autism or anything around that?
I would say be patient, be understanding. You don't know what it's like. Have a bit more empathy. I feel like that's what people suffer with, empathy at the moment. With understanding, with patience, there's not a lot of patience going on at the moment. That's what people need, really, is have a bit of understanding. Like, if you don't understand, then at least go and research or talk to them about how you can support them. But I feel like a lot of people are quite dismissive about it. So I think be understanding, be patient, and have some empathy.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Empathy is something that people need to have more of, and even if they don't know, just don't judge someone for
exactly.
Which is so hard for people. It would help a load of people speak about their problems as well. But thanks, Amy.
No, thank you for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and good. We talked a little bit about everything multi-schools, like your brother and a bit of Doctor Who as well. So I didn't know you liked Doctor Who. I think you probably thought that when you saw the TARDIS in the background.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I do enjoy Doctor Who. I can probably watch it over and over again, but I haven't seen it recently actually. But yeah, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's hard, but I guess because it hasn't been on. But yeah, I can't wait for the 60th later this year. It's gonna be really cool with David Tennant and everything. But I'm glad. I hope you enjoy it, like when it comes out and everything, and enjoy the meeting that we have in 10 minutes.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me on your podcast. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Amy, and to anyone listening and watching, we hope you've enjoyed it as well, and we all hope you have a nice rest of your day. See ya.
Bye-bye.